Welcome into Bob Suiter's Capital. We got to turn that down. Welcome into Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena for tonight's matchup between the Madison Capitals and the Green Bay Gamblers. Tonight's matchup features the Capitals and the Gamblers. As I mentioned, the Capitals come in with a record of 17-15, 4-2 on the season for Green Bay, a 22-10, 4-2 record to their name. The Capitals will travel right to left across your radio dial here on FloHockey. Sorry for some technical difficulties here in the pregame show, as the Capitals facing off against the Gamblers for the sixth time this season. Green Bay got the better of the Capitals in 4 of the first 5. They can clinch retention of the Wisconsin Cheese Cup presented by Odyssey Brands here this evening as we're underway here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. A big hit right away comes from Finn Brink on Lucas Peterson, setting the stage for tonight's matchup. Couple of feisty players. And Brink had a couple of nice hits last night as the Capitals send one towards the goal. It deflects up and out of play for a whistle. 19:41 to go, period number 1. 0-0 our score. Face-off upcoming in the offensive zone as we'll get to our goaltending matchup at our next whistle. Referees for tonight's matchup: Kevin McManus is the referee. Linesman Dane Hopkins and Robert Taylor. Face-off on the far side to the left of Adam Guyon in goal. On the far side, Kuzma and Shagabe to do business in the circle. Face-off is one back. Elias plays down to the corner for Delaney. Delaney up top now for Michaud. Michaud funnels one towards the net. Guyon stops it. Rebound sits out front, but Green Bay able to clear things back the other way through neutral ice and into the offensive zone is Julian Lutz. Elias up that far side wall through neutral, and it goes out past the blue line. Offside, though, are the Gamblers. 19:22 to go, period number 1. 0-0 our score as faceoff will come just outside the offensive zone here in a moment. Again, apologies for any technical difficulties we had here on the pregame show on Caps Radio. But we're back. We're fully back on that side of things. As a face-off opposite the Capitals bench here to follow. Face-off one back. Elias over to Michaud on the near side as Michaud starts up the middle of the ice and through neutral. He comes over to the far side. Ubernovic rings that one all the way down into the offensive zone where Kuzma will play along. On the near side, Shagabe down to player in the corner. Rings it around the far side along the kick plate where Elias leaves for Ubernovic up at the point. Ubernovic takes it into the corner. Stutters. Delaney in a high slot with a shot that goes wide. Guyon never saw it, but it'll be Green Bay back the other way nonetheless. A little 2-on-2. Nemec over to Lutz on the far side. Listed as their number 2 line on the line chart tonight. Definitely their number 1, consisting of 3 of their top scorers in the lineup. Delaney up that far side. Ubernovic tries to continue it out of the zone. Instead it goes to Elias back on the near side corner. The Capitals try to clear up that far side wall and through neutral ice. Now come the Capitals, but it's back the other way on the stick of the Gamblers. Through neutral, Poitras knocked off the puck, and now Ubernovic through neutral ice. Ubernovic achieves the red line, sends that one down in. 18:25 to go in period number 1. Scoreless at the moment between the Gamblers and Capitals here on the Caps Radio Network and on FloHockey. Nagel on the far side cuts towards the middle. Near side to Ramsey. Ramsey with a shot that time. Kicked around by Guyon. Green Bay controls the rebound. Unable to get it out, though, as Ramsey will hold up the near side wall. Brandt. Now Lamb up to the near side point for Ramsey. Back down to the corner looking for Lamb that time. Instead, it comes out on the stick of the Gamblers. Pops up and out of play. Hope everybody's all right over on that far side as the face-off will once again be just outside the Capitals' offensive zone. 17:55 to go, period number 1. It's time for our goaltending matchup presented by our friends at MadCapsHockey.com. MadCapsHockey.com, your one-stop shop for all things Capitals here this season. Guyon comes in with a record of 16-7-2-1 on the season. Entered the weekend with a 3.18 goals against and a .902 save percentage to his name, having to fend off Gavin Moffett. Moffitt's done a great job down the stretch here of February. If you remember, he was the one who started back in January when the two teams faced off. As Beshin will play that one off the wall to Russell. Russell through neutral ice into the offensive zone. The former Clarkson Golden Knight takes down to the corner on the far side before poking it along where Nagel now picks up. Nagel through neutral up that far side to Lamb. Lamb into the middle for Brandt, but unable to catch up to it as Chris Romaine settles things down and sends things back the other way to Blake Beshin. Beshin scored in the last meeting on Saturday night between these two squads. Means a little bit more to him when he scores against the Capitals. The Capitals, of course, acquired him via trade and traded him to Green Bay before he was able to play a game. Elias at the point. Sends one to the half wall for Long continues it around up the near side where Romaine and Mackey will battle for it. Mackey does a nice job to hug the wall and stop anything coming his way. Sends it out front, intended for Long. Instead, he'll have to go retrieve on the far side as Green Bay got in the way. Mackey with a shot. Puck redirects along the way, but redirects in the direction of Green Bay. O'Donnell with a shot, fielded as a ground ball by Guyon and held on to for a whistle. 16:52 to go, period number one. Scoreless between Green Bay and Madison as a face-off will be on the near side to the right of Guyon in goal. Rollers and his unit out there for Madison. On the other side for Green Bay, it's the top unit, Danilov and company. Face-off is tied up for a moment before winning it over to the near side wall was Danilov on possession behind the goal and played up the window on that far side where the Gamblers. It was Josh Player off the window, and it goes all the way down 200 feet where Colton Jamieson will pick things up and pick up a head of steam coming forward. Diego Johnson, far side, top of the circle, shot that time, jumps up into the sky here at Cap Ice as it's fair caught by Guyon for a whistle. 16:32 to go, period number one. Scoreless at the moment between the Capitals and Gamblers. Face off on the far side to the left of Guyon in goal. Top unit for the Madison Capitals out onto the ice. Madison only scored once last night in a 4-1 defeat of Chicago. Ronan O'Donnell tallying his second of the season. The Capitals enter on a 5-game losing skid at the moment, looking to snap that here tonight. Green Bay on a bit of a skid of their own, 2 games to their name as well on the skid side. Danilov and his top unit, Kuzma and his. Face-off one back by Danilov into the corner where it'll be the defenseman for Green Bay and Gallucci playing it over to the near side. As the Capitals battle back for possession, they ring it around the kick plate where Gallucci able to record on the far side. He just plays it up with a mini-mite breakout up that far side where Barlagi holds it in. Bernovic in the far side corner, plays it to the middle, no one home for Madison. It kind of rolled off the end of his stick, and Green Bay able to capitalize as they start back the other way. Danilov, shot right into the logo on the chest of Patrick Berzinch, who holds there for a whistle. 16:06 to go. Period number one. 0-0 our score is a face-off on the near side to the left of Berzinch coming up. Kuzma and company for Madison giving way for Rullers, Capel, and Brink. Something you saw last night if you watched the game in Chicago. Capitals weren't afraid to rotate players on that second line right wing. Ronan O'Donnell actually scored with Rullers and Brink at his side. Brink with the primary assist on that goal for O'Donnell. Held in at the line by Lutz. Lutz shot towards the goal, kicked into the corner by Noah Barlagi. Never got on to Patrick Berzinch before it goes all the way down. Guyon will step out of his cage to play it up the near side wall where Shagabe continues, where it's taken over by Madison just outside their defensive blue. Michaud on the near side to Brink. Brink achieves the red line. It'll just ship that one down in deep as we get a whistle. It deflected along a Gamblers bench player for a whistle. 15:36, period number one. Scoreless between these two squads still. If you've watched a couple of Gamblers Capitals games up at the Resch Center this season, there's been some feistiness between the two teams, to say the least. Hold them up, boys. No warning given to either side. Via the hand signal from Dane Hopkins, the linesman. As the face-off one to the near side by Green Bay. Humphreys helps win that one back. Is up the near side now come the Gamblers. It jumps over the stick of Poitras, though, for an icing. 15:29 to go. Period number one. 0-0 our score as a face-off will come inside the offensive zone. Far side to the left, a guy on in goal. Face off on that far side. Lamb wins it back, but no one home as Jack Brand had already made his way towards the slot. They were lined up on opposite sides. A nice play by Elias to fend off a couple of Gamblers players as he was trying to maintain possession, but sent it right to the stick of a Gambler back the other way. D'Angelo clears it for Madison, and now Jack Brandt will be in on the forecheck. Chris Romaine in there as well for Green Bay. He'll play it up the near side where it's collected along the way by Peterson. Peterson with 6 assists on the season gets things moving forward. Humphrey to the near side corner for Poitras. Poitras into the corner for D'Angelo and gets it right back eventually. Peterson shot goes wide of the goal and off the end wall where it comes out of the zone as the Capitals trying to clear there. Sure enough, they were able to. Green Bay sends it right back in. They go for a handful of changes as Madison starts back the other way. Michaud up that far side, deflected down in deep, stays in the field of play. Onside of the Capitals up that far side while Gallucci chips it past Aiden Long. And now through neutral come the Gamblers once again, 5.5 into period number 1. Jamison turns it over. Lutz now shot that time from Nemec. He snaps his stick. The stick went further than the puck, but the puck eventually finds its way into the back of the net as Julian Lutz able to send it through the 5-hole. Patrick Berzinch for a goal, and Green Bay takes an early 1-0 lead. Could have been a distraction on the Nemec's broken stick. Somehow, some way, it made its way to Lutz, though, and Lutz buries his 14th of the season. You'll see the stick go wide. Berzinch hops over there, recovered enough, but it slips through the 5-hole anyway, and Green Bay strikes first in this one. When the Gamblers strike first this season, Green Bay 13-3-1 on the year. As we'll get a whistle. .24 to go in period number 1. As we'll take a quick media timeout here in the press box.
Game goal scored by number 29, Julian Lutz. Assist to number 15, Lamar Nemec. Time of the goal, 14:24 left in the first. Lutz from Nemec, 14:24.
On Green Bay with an early 1-0 lead in this one. Julian Lutz with the goal through the 5-hole of Patrick Berzinch, and that's actually our last play here at Cap Ice. Face-off to come back at center ice here in a moment. Green Bay one scoring first this season. 79% of their points come at that time. 13-3, 1-0 to their credit here this season. Face-off back at center ice. Kuzma against Hughes, and we're just about ready to get things back underway here at Cap Ice. Sorry for the delay. In action at home is a face-off one at center ice, and coming forward now is Kuzma and company into the offensive zone. Delaney chips it down. The little delay in action actually kind of might have given Madison a chance to deflate any momentum back the other way for Green Bay, as that one sent down the length of the ice, down into the corner, as the Capitals tie a player up against the wall. Mackey ties the player, and Jamison up that far side. Kuzma will continue through neutral, and now Brnovic to Delaney, back to Brnovic, who tried to get things going back the other way, and now a player back behind the defense is Russell, the former Clarkson Golden Knight, centers it for Hughes, and Berzinch comes up huge with the save. Is up that far side, Delaney to the near side for Mackey. Mackey through neutral ice and towards the offensive zone. Now the Capitals have to spin back and regroup, though, as Green Bay able to stop that quick little rush for the Capitals. Into the offensive zone, Kuzma spins off of a stick check from a gambler. Out front, a chance for Long, just deflected wide. Kuzma up top for Ramsey. Far side now, Toby. Shot that time, sits out front. Capitals score! It's Aiden Long! For Long, it's goal number 5 of the season, and it ties us up at 1. 13:21 to go, period number 1. It seemed like the play had been broken up. Long was tied up with the player there. Actually might not have ever gotten a piece of that puck. So it could end up being Kuzma's goal. Either way, the Capitals strike, and we're all square at 1 aside. A nice response for the Capitals. Green Bay had scored with no momentum going their way, although we are getting a discussion on the far side. To me, it looked like the two were tied up. They are going to take it to review on that far side. To me, it did look like Long was able to score.
Is under review for goaltender interference. The call on the ice is a good goal.
As we're in review on that far side, as we're waiting on a couple of things there, the two teams' captains each backing out. 13:21 remains in the first period. 1-1 our score at the moment. The Long goal called a goal on the ice, which will be important, as of course you have to have enough evidence to overturn that. It was close to goaltender interference, but I think Long and the defenseman were fighting enough that you could say the defenseman pushed him into the goaltender. Obviously, Green Bay thinks the other side of that, and Madison the other side, so I guess we'll figure it out here in a moment. The two were tied up. I don't think that Long ever got a piece of it. It looked like it hit Long, but it's not like Long did anything there. I don't know if Long actually ever touched Guyon either. He's clearly in the crease, but does he touch Guyon? That's actually the skate of Gallucci that kicks it through. So I think if we were to go back, and I think they're worried maybe if the puck went into it. Long did push Gallucci, but again, I don't know if Long actually ever touches the goaltender. Shot comes from Kuzma into the slot and makes his way through. I'm going to have to take a look at this later tonight to say who actually scored that goal. So I think it very easily could have still been whoever shot that puck initially. For Long's sake, I hope he scored. It would have been goal number 5 of the season. If it was Kuzma, it would be goal 18 of the season. Brnovic, of course, it would be a franchise-setting margin at 26. But, of course, we'll have to get to that at some point. No goal, they say. The goal taken off the board. They say enough evidence to overturn it.
Has been disallowed for goaltender interference.
As Aiden Long's goal taken away. Goaltender interference, the call. So a faceoff will be taken outside the zone by Madison now. And the Capitals, a couple delays in action here. Have us 20 minutes in to actual game time. only being 6 minutes and 39 seconds in. Faceoff is tied up. Brender tries to win it forward, but Long recovers for the team. Long up that far side, backhands one towards the goal, goes wide. Rice tried to power his way towards the goal, but the puck never got to him as the Gamblers were able to start back up the other way. Katzen through neutral, now to Dewar. Dewar into the offensive zone, offside are the Gamblers. Faceoff to come just outside the Capitals bench, 13:05 to go. Period number one, 1-0 our score.
In the lobby at every Caps game for your dessert at Half Ice. Celebrate with buckets, use for tailgates, watch parties, and even post-game snacks.
Face-off on the near side, one back by the Capitals. Barlagi through neutral ice. It's Johnson into the offensive zone. It would have been offside, but the puck actually never crossed the blue line, and eventually the Caps will bring in, and it will be offside, so I guess puck doesn't lie. In that case, the Capitals were going to be offside, and the eventual carry-in, the same call. 12:53 to go in period number one. 1-0 our score in favor of the Green Bay Gamblers. The Capitals with a goal that was waved off here in period number one already. The face-off will be taken on that far side. Is a face-off one back by the Gamblers. Romaine up the near side. Brink unable to slam that one home. Is Poitras into the offensive zone. Barlagi up that far side, deflects it, trying to get around the linesman there, and the Capitals actually will bully their way into the zone. Johnson on the far side, down in the corner now for Rullers. Rullers feeds it back to Johnson, but it goes through his skates, and Green Bay will start back the other way. 12:30 to go in the first as the Gamblers carry into the offensive zone. A nice hit by Johnson to body Humphrey off the puck, and now the Capitals into the offensive zone. Barlagi near side, Brink. Offside are the Capitals. Seemed a bit late of a whistle to me, but they blow the play dead. 12:17 to go in the first, 1-0 our score. Face-off to come just outside the offensive zone here in a moment. The Capitals were in on a rush, and kind of a delayed whistle almost caused Finn Brink a shot on goal. Face-off on the near side, just outside the Gambler bench this time, outside the offensive zone for Madison. Lamb wins the draw back. Mackey to the far side to Toby. Toby will ring it around the wall where Guyon will slow for the defenseman, that time in Luke Baker. Baker up the near side. Nemec will play it around James Mackey, and off to the races are the Gamblers. But Lutz slowed down enough by an outreaching stick of Mackey as Danilov will play things forward now. Nagel off the boards on the far side, through the middle now, looking that time for Lamb, and eventually Mackey will go and pick things up. Into the offensive zone, Mackey takes it into the corner, but eventually will be taken over by the alternate captain, Josh Player. Ahead of the play, it's a race to the goal line, and it's won by Nathan Toby. Icing on Green Bay, offensive zone draw to come. Face-off upcoming in the offensive zone. It'll be on the near side to the right of Guyon in goal. Hold them up, boys. A warning. Lamb and Shogabay, the two-team centermen, about to go in on the draw. Shogabay in this top unit for Green Bay, one of the best in the league points-wise for a top line. On the near side, Brandt will play it down to the corner, hoping Nagel's there. On the far side, Lutz will just try to chip it around the defenseman and play it off the window. Michaud had no idea of what to do there. She had already pinched in, thinking he had won the race to the puck. Guyon eventually will have a Capitals clearance played to him, and eventually up that far side, Baker turned it over, but we'll get things started on his second effort. Russell, player now on the far side after playing it wide. In the corner now, Jack Brandt on possession will start up the near side, and the Capitals back on the rush the other way. Brandt achieves the blue line, or the red line rather, and sends that one down in deep. 9 minutes into period number one, 1-0. Our score, Green Bay in the lead. Julian Lutz with the lone tally in this one thus far. Aiden Long had a goal waved off due to goaltender interference. Green Bay hoping for another. Russell with a shot, trying to beat Berzic's goal. Short side that time. Instead, it's the Capitals coming back the other way. Delaney chugging his legs ahead for Bernovic. Through the legs that time and into the corner. Bernovic takes over on possession, forcing his way out front. Puck sits there for a moment on the rebound and comes to the near side now. Delaney, far side, Bernovic. Shot that time, snaps his stick, and Green Bay will come back the other way. on the stick of Beshin before turning it over. And the Capitals back at full strength as Brnovic picks up a new twig. Through neutral ice now comes Toby. Into the offensive zone. Toby takes it into the corner. Activates himself along the way, trying to get it out front for Brnovic, but Barlagi will hold up that far side line. Takes an odd carom off of a stanchion, and Green Bay picks up behind their own goal. Brnovic forces a turnover and keeps it in for Madison. Near side looking for options. Centers it that time. Played it off of his own stick. His broken stick. Offside where the Capitals have been, though. And it comes all the way out. It deflected off of his broken stick. It was an intended pass for Andrew Kuzma. Berzinch plays it with the blocker all the way out into the neutral ice where Lev Katzin will carry in. And rather will have to slow that down because of it. Offside the Gamblers would have been, but the Capitals start back the other way nonetheless. Barlagi through neutral ice, achieves the red line and sends it down in on Guyon. Guyon plays it with the backhand to the near side. Dewar caught flat-footed. Sam Rice gets possession in the corner. Rice looking for a defenseman coming fresh off the bench, and Elias sends it towards the goal. I don't know how Guyon saw it, but he tracked it the whole way and holds on for a whistle. 9:18 to go, period number one. It's time to take a look at our first out-of-town scoreboard of the night, presented by our friends at MadCapsHockey.com. MadCapsHockey.com, your one-stop shop for all things Capitals this season. Lincoln on top of Des Moines 2-1 with 1:30 left in period number one. 4-1 Tri-City leads Omaha halfway through the second. 5-1 Sioux City on top of Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls having a tough weekend. Beat 12-4 last night, down 5-1 tonight halfway through at the Denny Sanford Premier Center out there in Sioux Falls. Last night's game went to overtime between Youngstown and Muskegon, with the Lumberjacks getting the better, and they have the advantage on the scoreboard right now over the Phantoms. 3-2 at Trinity Health in Muskegon. 0-0 still between Waterloo and Dubuque. Dubuque lost in overtime to Cedar Rapids last night. Waterloo was able to take down these very Gamblers on the other side as a face-off to come in the offensive zone, or rather just outside the offensive zone is where the linesmen gather, but they will eventually take it down inside the offensive end. Dane Hopkins to take the draw on the near side. Face-off will be on the near side, and media timeout's going to be a bit extended here. We're going to take a quick break here.
Get down to the Nitty Gritty, the official birthday bar and home of the famous Gritty Burger. On your birthday, enjoy a free Memento birthday mug and fill it with free beer, specialty birthday cocktails, or soda all day long at the Gritty. Also enjoy happy hour, power hour, and great nightly drink specials. For more information about the upcoming events and specials, and to join the Nitty Gritty Birthday Club, visit thegritty.com. The Nitty Gritty, a tradition since 1968. Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie.
Back on the near side as the Capitals trail 1-0. Offensive zone draw, Sam Rice. And the captain for Green Bay, Mikey D'Angelo, to go at it in the circle. Faceoff is won back by Rice. Michaud thought about just sending it towards the goal, but Capel kind of ties him up there. Is up the near side wall. Gallucci will play out towards neutral ice, and now Poitras through neutral into the offensive zone. Will ring it around the kick plate to the near side where Humphrey on possession. Humphrey tied up for a moment, and now player at the point. Shot deflected by D'Angelo, into the pad of Berzinch and played into the corner where D'Angelo picks back up. D'Angelo up that far side into the corner. Out front, Poitras with his shot, and it's into the back of the net. At first it looked like Berzinch was going to get a piece of it. Instead, Green Bay strikes for their second goal of the night as they lead 2-0 over Madison. Face jump will come back to center ice here in a moment as the Capitals trail in this one. Didn't quite see who got the goal for the Gamblers, but a face-off won back by the Capitals. Mackey on the near side half wall starts things up ice. Through neutral now, intercepted by Shagabe into the offensive zone. Come Green Bay once again. It's going to be important for the Capitals here in period number 1 to get things started back the other way. Green Bay, when they lead after 1 this season, 10-1-0. On the other side, Madison basically even throughout, whether it's lead, tied, or trail. This team's kind of battled back from whatever, but also fell in whatever circumstances as well. A bit of a tie-up behind the goal. Rollers up the near side wall. Brink on possession will start things back the other way. It rainbows through neutral ice all the way back inside the defensive end where Peterson picks up for Green Bay. Through neutral now, Shagabe up to Nemec behind the defense. Nemec has a leg on Mackey, throws on the brakes out front. Berzinch able to kick it into the corner. Up top, Romaine near side O'Malley. O'Malley looking for options, tried to feed it over to Romaine, but Romaine had vacated the area thinking that the two were going to switch spots. Green Bay able to hold in somehow, some way. Up that far side, shot comes in from O'Malley, kicked into the corner by Berzinch as Barloggi ties the player up. And it's Rollers in the corner coming to join him. To a side work with a player out for each side, just outside of it. The puck tied up as the play blown dead. 7:23 to go, period number 1. 2-0 our score. The faceoff upcoming in the defensive zone.
The Madison Capitals would like to welcome the
To the right of Berzinch here in a moment.
The Madison Mavericks, RWD Youth Hockey, Tenant Resource Center,
Faceoff will be on the far side.
the Kalahari, UW Provision Meats,
To the right of Berzinch, as I mentioned. Lamb going up against Hughes. Hughes had a heck of a game
Testing Ingenuity,
for this team for Green Bay last week. Hughes able to strike twice shorthanded, added a third shorthanded goal on the weekend last week, which he didn't have one going into the weekend, and now he's tied for the league lead in that category. Russell with the shot, the little snapshot kicked into the corner by Berzinch, where Jack Brandt will slow things down and get it to his defenseman in Sean Ramsey. Ramsey starts up the far side, continues things forward. Lamb tries to get it around the defenseman in O'Malley. O'Malley halts the Capitals' rush, and now Blake Beschen back the other way. Russell to the slot for Hughes. Hughes was winding up to send one towards him, but it just rolled off the end of the stick in that process, and now the Capitals will come back the other way. Lamb near side to Brandt. Brandt has a player on the far side, finds him that time. Shot, and a nice save by Guyon. Kicked into the corner as Russell will start back the other way. Russell had his stick taken out of his hands, and now the Capitals will start back the other way. Brandt in the far side corner tried to backhand that one out front. Feeds it out front. Eventually, after the backhand didn't work, escapes the zone, and the Capitals spin right back in a 3-on-1. Elias feeds it to Brandt, and it's kicked away by O'Malley before it ever got to the Columbus, Ohio native. Danilov up the near side where Brnovic tries to take things back over. The Capitals forecheck. Brnovic with a shot sent into the corner on that far side. Elias picks up possession. Elias up top now Delaney. Delaney near side. Kuzma winds, sends one towards the goal, rings off the post. A nice shot by Kuzma. It's 2 inches to the left. You never know what happens. Maybe Guyon gets a piece of it, but maybe the Capitals able to get within one here. Brnovic feeds it out front. No one home for Madison. Is it sent and held in at the line by Michaud? The Gamblers tried to just clear the zone, probably force an icing as Kuzma on the near side slows it down for Michaud up top. Feeds it to Delaney, who's cutting through. Far side. Elias back to Delaney. Circling around the zone, feeds one towards the net. Puck sits out front for a moment. Delaney with the wraparound shot that time and backhands that one wide. Galucci tries to send it out of the zone. Elias will hold the first ever. The second clears as Madison chases back after it. 5:12 to go. Icing on the Gamblers. Right at the red line. It was close. No change allowed for Green Bay. A face-off upcoming in the offensive zone. The players for Green Bay don't like it more than the coaching staff. The coaching staff okay with it by letter of the law. Face-off on the far side to the left of Guyon in goal. Rice and his fourth unit out there for Madison. Face-off one back long in the top of the near side. Shot that time. Kicked into the corner by Guyon. Capitals unable to hold their first effort. Humphrey will eventually slow things down. Rather, that's Danilov. As he'll slow things down enough to get both forwards a change. And now through neutral ice, he'll send that one down in deep. It'll go high off the window on the end wall. And a nice job by Jamison to side check a player there in Humphrey. Humphrey played it off the end wall, did Jamison to Toby. Humphrey was in between the two. Toby spins back the near side and starts up ice. Humphrey comes in with an elbow that time on Toby. Not sure if you like that one too much if you're the Capitals. A nice job by Toby to tie up with Humphrey, but the puck sits in the far side corner where Poitras can pick up possession. Poitras tries to get things started. Humphrey will play it out front. Shot that time. Deflected along the way. I don't know if it ever got in on Berzinch. As the Capitals try to clear the zone, they're unable to. Poitras in the high slot. Thought about backhanding it through the slot to Humphrey as Long takes a player out for Green Bay. A nice job by D'Angelo to tie up Toby. To not be able to clear that, it could have been numbers for Madison back. Instead, Toby tied up a player in the corner now, D'Angelo. D'Angelo takes it to the near side, looking for options, sends it across. It deflects out of the zone where the Capitals able to get a couple of changes. Toby will stay on for Green Bay, at least for the moment, or for Madison. And now the Capitals, Finn Brink powering his way towards the net. Backhand shot. Rebound sits out front. Diego Johnson chases after it into the corner. He goes and grabs possession for Madison. Brink there as well. Johnson has his stick tied up, but Roller's able to recover for Madison and rings it around the far side where Barlagi will pinch to hold. Galucci plays the body. Barlagi keeps things moving forward. In the corner, it's Diego Johnson up against the wall, and Diego unable to get possession for Madison as Mikey D'Angelo and Josh Player come together and get things moving forward. Nemec with his second breakaway of the night. Shot, rebound, sits out front. Berzinch with a nice save, and now Madison back the other way. Through neutral ice, it's Diego Johnson. A 1-on-2 here. Numbers not in his favor, but he got the puck along. Didn't think he did. He kind of stuttered, not having faith in his stick. And the Capitals are going to be in the midst of a change here. Almost get caught with too many men. Is down in the near side corner. Shagabe on possession. Michaud to Brandt on the near side half wall. To a side work there, and Brendan Lamb comes out with possession for the Caps. Nagel trying to feed it back to Lamb. Lamb was sneaking behind and splitting the two defensemen. Is now Nagel along that far side wall. Beshin will go and collect things and start back the other way. Beshin ahead for Romaine. Romaine trying to center it back for Beshin. Unable to, and now a shot almost sent into his own goaltender by Brendan Lamb. Instead, it just goes wide of the goal and back behind the goal line. Green Bay still on possession. Hughes plays it to Beshin along the far side. Beshin tied up for a moment. Now in the corner, Russell goes and collects. The two sides working there, and now Russell will come away with it. Russell with a shot that just goes wide the whole way. Beshin will go collect the miss in the corner before getting tied up by Michaud. Nagel skating up the near side wall, sidesteps a Gambler who is coming in with a head of speed, as now Brandt will send that one down in deep. He'll be the only Capital going for the forecheck immediately, as a couple of players already in the midst of changes. It's Brandt, Kuzma, and Bernovic for the Capitals with 1:45 to go. Period number one, 2-0. The Gamblers lead Madison. Up that far side, Toby, near side for Jamison. Jamison sends one towards the goal, looking for a Brandt deflection. Instead, it's found on that far side. Kuzma's shot caroms out to the point where Jamison holds. One player will go for a change for Madison. Bernovic picks up possession in the near side. The line completes itself with Chris Delaney out there. Bernovic in the high slot, saw Laney, sends one towards the goals. He's tied up along the way. Bernovic loses his stick as he was tied up along the way by Hughes. And now Beshin back the other way, as the Capitals will try to poke things out. Bernovic will eventually get possession. Delaney with some speed chips it around, and with just north of a minute to go in the period, Delaney trying to feed it back for Bernovic, who sent it into the wall but gets possession to Kuzma. Kuzma powering his way towards the goal, thought about going short side, tried to, unsuccessful. Barlagi will hold on the far side half wall. Barlagi down into the corner for Bernovic. Kuzma in some pain, still out there in the offensive zone. He had a good chance to go for a change. Delaney stops the puck, and will actually allow Green Bay to start back the other way. Dewar Kuzma throws a big hit on him just outside the Capitals bench as it goes down inside deep. Barloghi on the far side will play it up the wall, and it'll ramp up the glass, up and out of play. 29.9 seconds remain. Period number 1. 2-0 our score in favor of the Green Bay Gamblers. A long shift going to be made longer. The Capitals will be required to stay out onto the ice. Johnson, Brink, Kuzma, Ramsey, and Barloghi for Madison. All set of new legs for Green Bay. Just under 30 seconds to go in the period as a faceoff won back by the Capitals. Up the near side now, Brink will try to clear out towards neutral ice, and eventually the Capitals will be successful in doing that. Johnson had some speed, but he has to slow himself down and start back the other way. Do the Gamblers, or rather the Caps, will get things moving far enough where the Gamblers have to regroup. Humphrey through neutral ice, far side to Poitras. Poitras stopped along the way, and the Capitals start back the other way, but Poitras slows things down. Poitras along the far side wall. Capitals unable to get the rush moving back the other way. Couple of players going shove on the far side as Brink and the players for the Capitals in the mix of everything there. Humphrey in there as well. The Capitals don't have anything happen there, and really nothing on the scoreboard in the first period as well. 2-0 our score after 20 minutes. As we'll take a quick look at everything that happened in period number 1. A nice hit there right away to get this tone set for tonight's game as Green Bay forces a turnover. A shot sits out front, and again, it's just sloppy play at points tonight. Physicality throughout. The shot here from Lutz as he was skating behind the goal. The rebound comes to him. And the Capitals on the other end thought they had one. Unable to find it, though, as the Capitals will trail 2-0 after that one as well. The Capitals down 2 after 20. We'll send it to our intermission. And when we come back, we'll have that second period of play for you. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on the Capitals Radio Network and on FloHockey.
U.S. Army. Good luck, gentlemen. Three, two, one, flip!
Let's go, Dave!
We got a winner!
Don't do it, don't do it!
Congrats, gentlemen. You'll be going home with a prize pack thanks to the U.S. Army. Fans, please welcome to the ice the Madison Toyota Highlander and Toyota Venza Zambonis.
First Choice Dental's got going to the dentist solved. And when you've got 11 convenient neighborhood clinics, you can solve a lot of problems, like helping you get in and get back to your busy day with snap appointments. Schedule your appointment at firstchoicedental.com.
Lion Power sources products from all of the major OEMs throughout the world. Vendors like Bosch, Borg Warner, Garrett, Delphi, etc.
A lot of times, if the OE dealer cannot supply you a specific part, let's say a turbo actuator for an Isuzu, us being partnered with IHI, we can do that. We can supply you those piece components that may not be available through your traditional channels.
I hear that from our customers. I said, why Lion Power? And I've had a couple of service dealers tell me, because I know what's in the box works. You know, I trust that.
What does it mean when people say America is a land of opportunity?
It means the power to discover,
To redefine yourself.
to improve yourself,
to challenge yourself.
To realize there's more in you
than you ever knew.
that you could do.
It means giving people an open field to explore what they do best.
With the best tools,
The best training,
the best technology in the world.
We bring out the best in the people who serve.
so you can be all you can be.
Dear Freedom, what forms do you take? More miles driven? More dollars saved? More life embraced? And more electrified vehicles than any other brand? Yours, Toyota Hybrids. That's right, Toyota has more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Score an energy-saving hat trick with help from your community energy company. Tip number 2, don't let your home be an energy sieve. Cover your windows in the evening to reduce heat loss. Make saving energy your power play.
Make your kid's birthday party more epic at Urban Air Adventure Park, Dane County's #1 birthday venue for all ages. Explore thrilling attractions at this ultimate indoor adventure park right here in Madison. And getting the party started couldn't be any easier. Call or book online today.
Life is so grand, throw up your hands. Never slow down, never sit still. You can dance, you can spin, you can dance, 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 dance. Lovin', 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 all of the day. Lovin', 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 all of the way. Shakin', shakin', shakin' to the beat. Wiggle, 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 both of your feet.
Thanks to our friends at Jersey Mike's, the first 60 seconds of every period is madness. If the Capitals are able to find the back of the net in the first minute of any period tonight, one row here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena will be going home with the Jersey Mike's prize pack. It's the Jersey Mike's Minute of Madness. Still time to be a part of the Capitals organization by becoming a season ticket holder. Our MC84 memberships and flex packages are on sale now. Call the front office or head over to madcapshockey.com. Your tickets, your way, MC84 memberships. Don't miss a second of Madison Capitals hockey on the Capitals Broadcast Network. Join the voice of the Caps, True Steel, on FloHockey and Caps Radio on YouTube. a chance to play Chucker Puck presented by Aldo Partners during the second intermission. Get your pucks from the fan services table located in the rink next to the elevator for your chance to win prizes from local businesses. It's just a puck per puck. Good luck. And restored. Welcome back to the ice, your Madison Capitals.
Back here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena, it's time for period number 2 as the Capitals trail by 2 to this Green Bay squad. 2-0 after 20 as we approach the start of period number 2. Let's take a look back at period number 1 and go through everything that we saw. It was a feisty period, ugly period at points between both sides. You can tell the energy in the building was just off. A puck sat out front on one end for Green Bay, and you'll eventually see it here. Nemec breaks his stick, Lutz slams that one home, and it gives Green Bay a 1-0 lead. Down at the other end, the Capitals thought they had the response just a minute and 20 seconds later, but waved off due to goaltender interference, and Ben Poitras able to tally to make it 2-0 in favor of the visiting Green Bay Gamblers. Back at center ice, the two teams ready to do battle for the middle 20 minutes of regulation. Caps will travel left to right across your radio dial and FloHockey screen here in the second. Green Bay right to left, wearing the white tops. As we're ready to get things back underway, the linesman out there at center ice, Robert Taylor, ready to get things back underway, and we are here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena underway as this one sent all the way down. Guyon will play it up the near side wall. Katzen interrupted there by Rollers down in the corner. Johnson slammed into the wall for Madison, but comes away with possession. Johnson leaves for Brink, up top for Toby. Toby looking for his first USHL goal, sticked into the corner by Guyon as it's Brink able to recover for Madison on the half wall, stopping the Green Bay clearance. Brink throws a body into a Gambler in the corner, but it's picked up along the near side wall by Peterson, who just flutters it all the way down, where it'll be waved off for icing as Jamison, the first one to it, and touches it before the goal line. Rollers plays it up the near side wall for Bernovic. Through neutral now comes Jamison with a head of speed, but back the other way as it's poked off of his stick are the Gamblers. Danilov sitting out front all alone, and he scores. 53 seconds into period number 2. The Gamblers have a 3-0 lead for Danilov. It's goal number 5 of the season. You just see it. He was out front, all alone. Katzen finds him as we now sit in a 3-goal deficit for Madison here this evening. Bernovic and his first unit back out there, ready to start things back and try to get momentum back in the way of Navy and Columbia. Face off at center ice, tied up and sent to the far side wall. Player will try to play it down to the corner. Tipped along the way by the Gamblers to try to get it around Michaud, but unsuccessful. Comes out towards neutral. They'll have to play it down in once again. Bears to the far side. Knocked over along the way as Elias and Lutz push and shove. Elias with a cage on, and the Capitals try to recover and go after him. Elias not going to the box, but Julian Lutz will, which sends Madison to their first power play of the night. Madison 16.4% on the man advantage this season. Lutz will be heading to the penalty box for goaltender interference. Just clearly runs into Berzinch as he makes his way to the penalty box. Gets a cross check to the back, but rightfully so at that case. 2 minutes, goaltender interference, offensive zone, draw Madison to their first power play of the night. 0 for 1 last night in Chicago were the Capitals. Brink, Kuzma, Nagel, Michaud, and Rice for Madison to start on the man advantage. Danilov, Player, O'Malley, and Hughes for Green Bay. Hughes with 3 shorthanded goals on the season, all coming last weekend, 2 against Madison up at the Resch Center. As the 2 minutes put on the score clock here for Julian Lutz. Face off to come on the near side. Rice against Danilov in the circle. And it's won back by Danilov to the far side. It's kicked over to Player on the far. He'll just play it up that far side wall where Madison able to start some puck possession here on the man advantage. Michaud and Kuzma will switch spots. Michaud up top looking for a shooting lane. Sends it to Nagel on the far side before retrieving it back. Michaud back to Nagel on the far side. Nagel looking for options up top for Michaud. Near side now Kuzma. Kuzma through neutral. Far side trying to feed it over that time for Nagel. Eventually it will get to Max Nagel, but not before. It deflected a couple of times. A shot from the point, an absolute rocket from Kuzma. Stopped by Gajan and held on to for a whistle. 18-17 to go, period number 2. 1:25 still remaining on the Capitals power play, and they'll rotate power play units now. Face off to come on the near side to the left of Gajan in net. Gajan, of course, the goaltender for the Slovakian national junior team the past 2 trips to the World Juniors, and really his play at the 2023, of course that's last season, World Junior Championships, got him his spot at UMD as a commitment there, but also here with Green Bay. He had some time as an affiliate last season there as well. Russell wins that draw forward. The Clarkson Golden Knight, former player, started the season there at the college hockey level, but drops down here and set to finish the season here in Green Bay. Up that far side, Delaney with a whole bunch of speed through neutral ice, gets it to Brnovic up top. Brnovic switches over to the far side and plays it to Delaney on the half wall, and the Capitals able to set up possession now. Ramsey up top, near side, Brnovic. Brnovic up top to Ramsey again. Ramsey, Brnovic, Delaney on the far side. Ramsey up top. Takes it into the far side, though, with 51 seconds to go. Brandt, far side up top to Ramsey. Brnovic, one-timer goes wide the whole way into the corner, and the Capitals able to retain possession after Green Bay's had a failed clearance. Brnovic on the top of the near, Ramsey up top. Ramsey looking for options. Will feed it to Delaney on the far side. Delaney rips one towards the goal. It caroms off the glass. Brnovic unable to hold. 29 to go on the minor penalty to Julian Lutz. Is now Brnovic starts up ice with a whole bunch of speed. Brnovic powering his way towards the goal. Backhanded into the pad that time of the goaltender Gajan. Poked out of the zone, and now Hughes with a whole bunch of speed back the other way for Green Bay. Hughes shot just rolls off the end of his stick, and Delaney goes and picks up in the corner for Madison. Delaney surveys the field of play and sees Diego Johnson behind the defense. Johnson in all alone. Has the shot he wants there, but it rolls off his stick just as the penalty expires to Lutz. Excellent chance there for Madison. Johnson just unable to get a shot off. Johnson's one of the more fun ones to watch. The weekly shootout for Madison. Has a lot of creativity when he gets space in all alone. He'll be really good for this Madison squad eventually. Long ahead for Brnovic, who's tripped up. No call will come. He might just have tripped over his own feet trying to Superman dive for that one, and now it's Poitras back the other way for Green Bay. Lutz sends that one towards the goal. He just chips it over the net, and now Madison will come back the other way. Capel plays it off the wall, but held in at the line by Baker. Baker down into the corner now. Back up at top, Long deflects it to him. Offside are the Gamblers, so the Capitals have some time and space to start things back the other way. D'Angelo into the offensive zone for Green Bay. D'Angelo, shot, stopped by Berzinch. Capitals able to get the rebound out towards neutral ice where the Gamblers will regroup. 4:10 into period number 2. 3-0 our score in favor of Green Bay, already with one in the second. Humphrey towards the goal, tripped up. A penalty will be upcoming on Sam Capel, sending Green Bay to their first power play of the night. Green Bay entered the weekend with a 27.8% power play, but it's better on the road. They scored last night on the man advantage, 28%, and there's the call on Capel. 4th in the league overall entering tonight, but even better on the road, as I mentioned, 28.1% compared to 27.8% entering the weekend overall. So this power play loves to play on the road, and really the Gamblers do as well. Last night having their 14-game road point streak snapped by the Waterloo Blackhawks. We're underway here. The Barloggy Minor up on the clock as D'Angelo to Poitras, back to Poitras on the near side. Poitras scored our only goal back on January 13th in the 1-0 game against this Capitals squad. Lutz will hold in on the far side. Lutz stick handles around a couple of Capitals players. Nemec's down low up to the bumper spot where Beshin will send one towards the goal, but it's wide, and the Capitals will try to clear, and they'll be able to now as Rainers Rollers starts up ice. 1:30 to go as Rink will carry into the offensive zone, powering his way towards Guyon. Puck sits there but takes into the corner as now Rollers in the corner gets possession at least for a moment before Green Bay starts back the other way. Poitras through neutral ice now. Picks his head up, thought about sending it to the far side, but he'll chip down into the far side corner instead. He'll go retrieve it for Green Bay. Beshin up to the point for D'Angelo. The first unit still out there, just about halfway through the man advantage. Beshin, near side looking for Poitras. Capitals clear. 14:38 to go in the second. 56 to go on the man advantage. Guyon leaves there for D'Angelo. D'Angelo steps out to the right. Their first unit for Green Bay. No defenseman on it. Pardon, still no defenseman out on the ice as D'Angelo yet to make the change, giving way for Chris Romaine. Katzen in the corner has Russell, Humphrey, Romaine, and Shogabay out there with him. Romaine, far side for Shogabay. 30 to go on the power play as Katzen rips one towards the goal. Blocked there by Toby, and recovering his own misses Katzen. Romaine straddles the blue line, sends one towards the goal, and it goes wide. As Toby tries to clear, Katzen will get tied up against the wall, and Madison back the other way with 10 to go on the kill. Lamb carries into the offensive zone, slowed down for a brief moment, and sends it back where Ethan Elias, unable to capture possession, will eventually grab it and start things back up ice. Icing upcoming on the Capitals. 13:36 to go in the second. 3-0 our score. Offensive zone draw for Green Bay upcoming. A face-off will be on the far side to the left of Berzinch in goal. Period of the long change. Second game of the weekend. This is where players can really show their conditioning, but also at the same time can really get tired out. We saw a sloppy period number 1 from both teams, bodies flying everywhere. The first real year in a while that this interstate rivalry really provides that extra oomph to it. A couple of fights last weekend up in Green Bay, and the Capitals looking to just grab a couple of points here and stay in the Wisconsin Cheese Cup presented by our friends at Klondike Cheese. Up that far side, player gets it out, and the Capitals will regroup. Player will go underneath. I believe that'll be a tripping call on Josh Player, sending Madison to the power play. 13:09 to go, period number 2. 3-0 the score. Face-off will be in the offensive end. The Capitals send that same first group out there. You'll see it there. Just went so low on Elias that something had to be called. Player kind of asked, what for? You sent your whole body down and tripped him up. Whether it was with the hip or not, you tripped the player up with how low you went. Almost like the limbo. I don't think you can bend forward in the limbo, though. Rice against Danilov in the circle. One back to Michaud. Far side for Kuzma. Kuzma thought about it, but gets it back up top for Charlie. Michaud, far side. Kuzma whiffs on it, leaves there for Michaud. Far side corner for Nagel. Back up top to Michaud. Michaud near side to Kuzma. Sends one towards the goal. It deflects up into the sky here at Cap Ice. Deflected by Hughes. And Hughes with a whole bunch of speed behind the defense. Hughes looking for his 4th shorty of the season. 4th in 4 games as well it would have been. But it just goes wide, and the Capitals will start up ice back the other way. Kuzma through neutral ice will carry in near side to Rice. Rice back to Kuzma, trying to get it to him, trying to thread the needle, and really at that point you wish that you would have just thrown the brakes on. Capitals will change units out, but you wish you would have just thrown the brakes on, established some offensive zone time. Instead, it's Michaud and company back the other way. Brnovic ahead for Johnson. Johnson with an outreach. Brnovic in front of him, unable to get to it. Fluttered back the other way by Green Bay. Halfway through this, Josh Player minor. Delaney starts up ice. They didn't take it all the way behind as Delaney gathers some speed and carries into the offensive zone. He'll chase after it. Tried to thread the needle to Brnovic in the slot. Brnovic with a puck on an edge. Now Ramsey on the far side. Shot deflects just wide. Johnson, or rather that's Brandt, plays it off the end wall. Up top now, held in by Ramsey. Ramsey, far side Delaney. Delaney looking for options. Up top Ramsey. Brnovic on the near side. Thought about ripping it, but they're guarding him close. Ramsey, far side Delaney. Near side to the bumper to Brandt. Delaney holds for a moment. The Capitals unable to hold on the second attempt by Green Bay. 20 seconds to go. One last rush for the Capitals in them. 11:25. Period number 2. Sean Ramsey up the far side and into the offensive zone come the Capitals. Near side Johnson. Johnson has it taken away, and now Danilov beaten by the outreach stick of Austin Brnovic. They'll send it down the rest of the way, and that'll kill off the rest of the Gamblers' minor penalty. Sean Ramsey back beneath the goal line over to the near side to Jamison. The Capitals will start up ice now. Delaney trying to get it over to Rullers on the far side. He'll go for a change after the pass was intercepted. Capitals will send it back down the length of the ice. It'll be icing if it catches there, but it catches up on an edge. The Capitals win the race to it as well. Near side. Rullers on possession, sends it to the far side. Brink just unable to gain possession fully that time, and Nemec and the Gamblers back the other way. Shagabe threads the needle to the middle for Nemec. Nemec tried to continue it along for Lutz, but it'll be Capel and company for Madison into the offensive zone. Brink back down into the corner for Capel. Capel trying to find Rullers, and a penalty will be upcoming. It'll be a boarding call on Green Bay's Julian Lutz. He'll head to the penalty box. He doesn't like the call too much, arguing along the way. Madison to power play number 3. All 3 here in period number 2. 0 for 2 on these first 2. Faceoff will be on the near side to the left, the guy on in goal. Rice in the first unit to start things out there. You just saw the hit on FloHockey. Hold him up as we reach our media timeout here in period number 2. As we'll take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard, presented this time by our friends at Floor & Decor. Come explore our unmatched selection of high-quality products, all at everyday low prices, and see how easy creating the space to match your taste can be. Discover your new Floor & Decor, now open in Monona and online at flooranddecor.com. Lincoln with a 2-1 lead over Des Moines. 2 second-period goals unanswered from Des Moines as they lead 2-1. 6:08 to go in the third there in that one. 4-1, Tri-City leads over Omaha. 14:25 to go in the third there as Sioux City continuing their 6-1 lead at the start of the third in Sioux Falls. 3-3 all squared, 12 to go in the third period in Muskegon. That's a game where the Capitals really just want things to somebody just get 2 points. Don't give the loser an extra point as well. Capitals chasing both of those squads in the standings. 2-0 Dubuque leads Waterloo at home. They fell last night to Cedar Rapids in overtime, and the Rough Riders lead tonight over Chicago halfway through the second in both of those games. Capitals to start power play number 3. Face-off will be on the near side to the left of Guyon in goal. Lutz will be in the penalty box. He's actually chatting with the referee, McManus, on that far side wall. That's actually what's going to hold us up here for a moment. McManus having a chat with Lutz. We'll finally get the door shut over on that far side. As she'll skate back into the play, Robert Taylor, Dane Hopkins, the linesman for tonight, already had all the players lined up. Rice in this first power play unit for Madison out there, and Brink will have the refs hold up a finger and say, hold them up, boys. So Rice, Brink, Rullers, Michaud, and Kuzma for Madison. Face off one back. Kuzma on the far side sends one towards the goal, rings off the end wall, racing for it. Brink, but it'll be out of the zone. It actually goes up and I think hits the helmet of one of the Capitals on the bench. Face off will be in the offensive zone. I think maybe Jack Brandt's helmet gets hit. Everybody looks to be all right. Direct question, hey, I don't know who this one hit. And Jack Brandt signing post-game autographs. As a face-off one back by Green Bay. They'll send it down that far side wall, and 10 seconds into the kill, they're forcing Patrick Berzinch out of his goal, who will leave there for Michaud. 10 minutes even to go. Period number 2, a minute 40 on the power play as the Capitals start up ice once again. Third power play of the night as Kuzma plays it off the end wall to Brink on the far side. Brink sidesteps a one player for this team for Green Bay, and on the near side, it's Kuzma, far side for Rullers. Rullers inserted into this power play unit for Nagel. Up top now Michaud, far side for Rullers. Rullers trying to feed it to Kuzma on the near side. That's on a different page. Michaud, Kuzma on the top of the near side, rips his shot that time. Rebound sits out front. Capitals take a couple of hacks at it, but it's held on to for a whistle. 52 into the power play. Capitals switch groups, 9.5 to go, even in period number 2. 3-0, Green Bay in the lead. Face off on the near side to the left of Guyon in goal. Bernovic, Johnson, Brandt, Ramsey, and Delaney for Madison. The second power play group has had a couple of chances here tonight, and Delaney has the face-off one back to him. Bernovic taking the draw here on this one with no typical center on this group. Delaney up top to Ramsey, near side Bernovic. Bernovic looking for options, feeds it down into the corner for Brandt. Back to Bernovic. Bernovic rips his shot that time, blocked along the way. The Capitals get it back. Ramsey up top, near side Bernovic. Bernovic looking for a shooting lane. Bernovic sends one. He saw one he liked, but it was quickly found and congested by a shin pad of a Gambler player, and the Capitals back the other way. Couple of changes for Green Bay, shorthanded. Allow Madison easy entry into the offensive zone. Ramsey up top, near side Brandt, and now Bernovic, or rather Delaney on the far side. Up top Ramsey once again, near side Bernovic. Bernovic sees Delaney, likes, shoots, deflected along the way. Capitals back on it. Ramsey, far side Delaney. Delaney with 18 to go on the power play, back up top for Ramsey, sends it towards the goal, it goes wide. Bernovic collects the miss on the near side half wall, sends it to the far side where Delaney slows things down. 10 to go on the power play. Ramsey near side Bernovic, one-time shot, glove save by Guyon for a whistle. 4 to go on the power play. Madison, unless they're able to score right away off the draw, going to be 0 for 3 on the man advantage tonight. Entering tonight, 14th in the league on the power play. I talked with Brandt and company earlier this season, and power play struggles. The Capitals were still successful throughout all of it. So at the time, they were all right with everything because of the fact that the power play struggles were there. They thought, hey, this power play can start to flourish. The team success will continue because, hey, we might find a new part of our game. Face-off one back by Lamb. Barlocki down into the corner now. Long leaves there as it rings around to Lamb. Lamb puts some pressure on, but D'Angelo able to start the breakout back the other way for Green Bay. Humphrey intercepted. Lamb will play the body on Humphrey, and now up the near side, the Capitals force a turnover. Long up the near side wall, trying to get possession for the Capitals, and now Nagel into the offensive zone offside. 8:01, period number 2. 3-0 our score in favor of the visiting Gamblers. Goals in this one from Lutz, Poitras, and D'Angelo. have Green Bay ahead in this one. Faceoff is won back by Green Bay on the far side. Coming through neutral ice now is Luke Baker, but he steps on the puck, and now Madison has numbers back the other way. Nagel far side, Long tries to beat the defense, a penalty, and a power play for Madison once again. Humphrey to the penalty box for a slash. Fourth power play of the period for Madison with 7:48 still remaining in this middle frame. The referee not afraid in this one to have his whistle taken out as Humphrey comes across the hands of Aiden Long, kind of stopping him from taking advantage of an odd man rush for Madison. Luke Baker awkwardly got the puck stuck in his skates, slipped on it, fell to his behind, and now an offensive zone draw to Madison in a power play thanks to the mistake. Hold them up, boys. The warning to Green Bay, shorthanded on the near side. Brady O'Malley, the guilty party, but we'll get things back underway in the face-off one anyway for Green Bay. They send it up that far side. Michaud almost holds it in. As up the near side, the Capitals unsuccessful on just a clean regroup and re-entry. They have to take it all the way back behind their own goal. Michaud picks up. The referee trips up in the corner as the Capitals into the offensive zone. Nagel on the near side tries to beat O'Malley to it. Tied up, but the Capitals eventually will establish zone time. Nagel in the slot looking for a shooting lane. Feeds it too far in front of Sam Rice. Nagel gets it back. Nagel rejoins this power play group. Near side Kuzma had it flutter a little too much on him, but he gets it up to Michaud anyway. Nagel far side down into the corner for Rice. They'll switch spots, and now Michaud up top. Kuzma one-time shot goes over the net. Had a little too much rise in that one, and it caroms out towards neutral ice. The Capitals will regroup and start the rush back up with 1:05 to go on the man advantage. Humphrey in the penalty box. Kuzma trying to power his way to the goal. Tripped up, kind of tripped himself up along the way. Michaud will hold anyway. Michaud, near side Nagel. Nagel, far side Rice, one-timer with Fandon. And up top now Michaud, 50 to go on the power play. Kuzma on the top of the near side. Middle now for Rice. Kuzma gets it back, deflected up and out of play for a whistle. 44 to go on the power play for Madison as they'll switch units now. 6:32 in period number 2 as they try to gain something back, gain some advantage on the man advantage against this Green Bay squad. Struggles on the power play this season. They entered the weekend 74% on the kill this season, 15th in the league. They are much better on the kill on the road, and really they're just a much better team on the road. As Ramsey holds in at the line, the Capitals win the draw back. Bernovic at a really tight angle will play it back to Ramsey up top. Far side now Delaney. Delaney to Ramsey. Near side Bernovic. Bernovic surveys the field of play and gets it down to Brandt. Brandt looking for options. Bernovic one-time shot, sits out front. Bernovic another one, a shot, and he scores! That's the Capitals' single-season goal-scoring record, 26 for Austin Bernovic. Capitals now 1 for 4 on the man advantage after Bernovic's 26 of the season. 3-1, Green Bay still leads, but energy brought to Cap Ice for the first time tonight. You see the missed shot. Brandt realizes he's going to have a chance at a one-timer. Bottle pops. Capitals bring themselves back within 2. They grab the puck, realizing the significance of that goal. Capitals still need a lot in this one, but it's a good sign to start things up for Madison. Face-off won back by the Capitals as they'll start that one all the way down. Rings around the near side. Capel has a jump off the Zamboni door and kind of loses possession as it starts back the other way. Nemec, Jamison ahead. That time to the near side. Capel will play the body, but the Capitals too little too late, and Green Bay carries into the offensive zone. Shagabe, near side for Lutz, into the middle for Nemec. Up top now for Ludwig. Garen Ludwig up the near side wall. A scratch last night for this Gambler squad. O'Donnell goes and plays the body but loses an edge and takes a body down with him. Capitals clear out to neutral, but the Gamblers right back at it. Shagabe into the offensive zone, poked off of his stick. He was going up against 5 Capitals as the Capitals just clear out towards neutral. A couple of changes for Madison as Green Bay back the other way. Nemec had Humphrey onside towards the middle, that time looking for Shagabe. Shagabe hit that time, and the Capitals start back the other way. Lamb through neutral ice, sends it down into the corner. Chasing after it's Lamb. Romaine plays it to the near side through the legs of Brendan Lamb as Luke Baker sends it back to Romaine on the far side. The alternate captain ahead for Poitras. Now Humphrey. Humphrey has it poked off of his stick, and the two sides go into the corner as the Capitals on possession. Long out towards neutral ice and under 5 to go in the second. Capitals trail 3-1. A nice job to bait that pass. Diego Johnson now long with a shot. Karam's over to the far side as Johnson plays it up to the point, escapes the zone as Michaud will have to just play it forward and just stutter the Green Bay streak up ice. D'Angelo through neutral. Gets possession now to the Capitals. Kuzma on possession on the far side. Kuzma bodied from behind. It's a dangerous hit if Kuzma's not aware that it's coming, and Humphrey well aware of that. Humphrey on the far side, near side, Poitras shot that time. An excellent glove save by Berzinch. Goes wide as Kuzma now will try to start up ice, but instead it's Humphrey intercepting. Humphrey on the far side towards the middle. Near side intercepted. Kuzma's going to have a break. Capitals have a chance to get within one here. Kuzma powering his way towards the goal. He didn't realize he had Delaney with him. I don't blame him. He was so far ahead at the beginning of that rush that he probably thought, it's just a one-on-one, trying to take himself up against the NHL draft pick of the Colorado Avalanche and the Ohio State commit. Brender, shot deflects off of a rafter here and into the crowd. Be aware of flying pucks, folks. There's a face-off to come in the defensive zone for Madison. 3-1 our score. Green Bay on top, but Madison with the most recent tally. It was Austin Bernovic in his 26th of the season. Sets a single season record for Madison with still a whole bunch of hockey left to be played. Face-off won back by the Gamblers. O'Malley with a shot that's blocked along the way, and the Capitals start back the other way. Barloggy through neutral, trying to get it to the near side for O'Donnell, but instead Guyon forced to field it like a shortstop, and Barloggy tied up behind the goal now. A couple of players having to be separated by the stripes. 3:35 remains in the second. Face-off will be on the near side to the left of Guyon. Rollers, Brink, and O'Donnell for Madison. Hold them up, boys. A warning on the far side. Bernovic's power play tally. The Capitals able to find the scoreboard. As Russell on the far side, Brink in a body for Green Bay get tied up there for a moment. Ramsey tries to get the puck down from its edge to lie flat before getting it over to Barloggy on the near side. Up the wall, O'Donnell deflected deep. This offensive unit scored a goal last night for the Capitals. Their lone goal, it was O'Donnell from Brink at the time. Barloggy keeps the Green Bay rush at bay, and now Brink back the other way because of it, sends that one down in deep. O'Donnell will go and play the body, and Green Bay just kind of backed off before he ever got there. And now to his side work on that far side. Capitals possession shot. Brink blockered by Guyon. O'Donnell leaves there for Brandt. Brandt now goes after it, and Rollers does a nice job to play the body, but back the other way come the Gamblers. It jumps out of the field of play, which means a whistle. Raiders Rollers frustrated at himself as a face-off just outside the Capitals bench. 2:45 to go. Face-off just outside the Capitals bench, as I mentioned. Bernovic with the goal. Of course, gets the record for Madison for a single season, but I think he'd take a win and push that record down the line a little bit if he could. Out at center ice. It goes into the offensive zone for the Gamblers. Shagabe pokes that one towards the goal. As it sits out front, the Capitals try to scramble for the rebound as Lamb behind the net kicks it up to himself, soccers it along, and gets things moving forward as Nagel plays it off that far side wall. Brandt slapped his stick down on the ice to try to play a hit, that time on Ludwig. Instead, Nemec into the offensive zone, back the other way with just north of 2 to go in the period. Nemec drops there for Shagabe. Shagabe has Lutz with him on the far side corner. Lutz gets one up high and doesn't like the no call, as he'll make the way to the bench. Very slow on that one. I don't know if he got a stick up high, though, as the Capitals will start back the other way. Long behind the defense. Has only O'Malley with him. Shot that time. A nice save by Guyon as he holds on for a whistle. 1:43 to go here in period number 2. 3-1 our score. Head coach and GM Mike Leone yelling at the referee. I wonder if a penalty is going to come from this. It appears not, as he was looking at Lutz to see if he got anything up high. Claims that nothing actually occurs from that. So the Capitals still at 5-on-5, a minute 43 to go in the second. 3-1 the score in favor of Green Bay. A goal late here in the period could be huge for momentum. Toby at the point sends one towards the goal. It deflects high and goes wide, knuckling past Guyon, but into the corner. Johnson picks up possession, feeds it out front, looking for Rice. Long was in the area as well. Toby at the point to the near side to Long. Long looking for options. Green Bay okay with him playing on the outside. Rice, or rather that's Johnson, thought about the backhand, tried to Michigan it as well, the lacrosse-style goal, but it goes to the far side half wall and down into the corner now for Diego Johnson. 1:15 to go in the period. He relays it along to Long. As Long gets tied up, the two sides, as Humphrey able to get things back the other way. A nice job by Jamison trying to start things back for Madison, but Humphrey hops up into the play after stuttering and recapping for one of his defensemen. Humphrey through neutral. Near side now for Peterson. Peterson up the wall and into the corner now as Beshin lets it go by, or rather that being D'Angelo. 47 to go in the period. Through neutral ice comes Sam Rice. Rice will play it off the end wall as he has Delaney fresh off the bench. Delaney plays it to the middle for Ramsey, who activates himself down. Ramsey looking for options, plays it down to the corner, a little too high for Delaney. Delaney had his stick reached out at his shoulder blades and just barely got a piece of it to avoid the high stick. Down to the corner now, Katzen and Barlagi get tied up as the Capitals come away with possession back the other way. Barlagi and Katzen back and forth at one another. They're going to call a penalty here on Barlagi eventually, I believe, as it comes up ice now. Only Barlagi's going to go for a rough, with Barlagi heading to the penalty box. They're calling it only on him. I think Barlagi's arguing that he had himself tied up, so he gave himself a shot. 9.5 to go in the period. So if Green Bay's unable to strike with 9.5 left, a minute 50 and change of a power play would hang over into the third period. Faceoff will be on the far side to the left of Berzinch in goal. Poitras, Beshin, Lutz, Nemec, and D'Angelo on the power play for Green Bay. Rollers, Michaud, Elias, and Long for Madison. They have to realize they have to shoot pretty quickly here. Beshin sends one towards the goal. Capitals clear, and that'll do it for period number 2. Capitals with the last goal in period number 2, but each team picks one up here in the second period of play, and Green Bay leads 3-1. Let's take a look back at everything throughout this second period. You had a whole bunch of stuff going on, and it all started with a chance out front. Guyon gloves it down to hold on for a whistle. Back the other way, Long with a chance, it draws a penalty. Gives Madison a power play, 1 for 4 in the period. Here's another shot from Aiden Long late in the period. Here's that goal, Bernovic, 26th of the season, to get Madison back within 2. Bernovic's 26th of the season sets a single season record here for Madison. Still has a lot of hockey left to be played this year. In fact, game number 39 tonight for Madison, which means after tonight, still 22 games to follow for Madison, as the Capitals in this one trail 3-1 as we head into intermission number 2. It's Capitals Hockey live here on FloHockey and on Caps Radio. We'll see you in the third.
It's time for the real warriors of the evening. Welcome to the ice, RWD Youth Hockey. say go, you will have 60 seconds to chuck those pucks onto the ice. There are several prizes to win, so aim carefully. If you land on the following banners, you win. Fifth quarter, Biaggi's, Ancho and Agave, Jersey Mites, Madison Axe, Monks, Nothing But Cakes, Portillo's, Sports Clips, Urban Air, Beneblends. Fans, are you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Chuck those pucks. Thank you for playing Chuck a Puck tonight. Stay tuned and we will announce the winners later in this intermission. Fans, please welcome to the ice the Madison Toyota Grand Highlander and Toyota Security.
What does it mean when people say America is a land of opportunity?
It means the power to discover,
To redefine yourself.
To improve yourself.
to challenge yourself.
To realize there's more in you
than you ever knew
that you could do.
It means giving people an open field to explore what they do best.
With the best tools,
the best training,
the best technology in the world.
We bring out the best in the people who serve.
so you can be all you can be.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
At Ortho Team Clinic, we're able to provide comprehensive shoulder care to really address all the different shoulder problems that a patient may have. Listening is at the center of how we're able to treat these patients effectively.
Competition is an interesting subject, and Madison Capital's players compete to win. They like to get eye to eye, stare down their opponent, and prove their skills in the most intense way possible. They'll compete just for the sake of competition. They'll even compete for the last cup of Odyssey Greek yogurt. With its rich, smooth texture and delicious flavor, you'd fight for the last one too. At this rate, these guys will be at it all day. Odyssey Greek yogurt. Some things are worth competing for.
For 35 years, Ameriprint Apparel in Sun Prairie has been the one-stop shop for all your custom printing needs. Getting started is easy. Visit AmeriprinTapparel.com to browse through all our offerings and let us know how you need it customized. You can also give us a call or stop in. And if you need an individually customized online store, we offer them at no charge to you. Then our team will get to work and make your custom products a reality. Ameriprint Apparel, your logos, done right, done local.
Score an energy-saving hat trick with help from your community energy company. Tip number 3, light the lamp with LEDs. Replace old bulbs with energy-saving LEDs. They'll last longer than your hockey skates. Make saving energy your power play.
Oh, the weather. What's the chance of rain tomorrow?
Ooh, 80%. I make it rain. I make it rain.
Speaking of making it rain, at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, we have an average 95% payout, which leads you to more chances of playing longer and more chances to win big. Play longer, win more, chances are you're gonna like it.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
miss a second of the Madison Capitals hockey on Capitals Broadcast Network. Join the voice of Caps Drew Steele on FloHockey and on Caps Radio on YouTube. Recovered, restored. Welcome back to the ice, your Madison Capitals.
Back here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena, period 3. Upcoming here as we've passed the intermission mark of period number 2, and the Gamblers back out on the ice. Let's actually take a look back at the second period as the Capitals, of course, able to strike in period number 2 for the first time, but Guyon had been strong throughout. One save and then another, but that one drew a penalty. Aiden Long behind the defense. You'll see Long with another great chance here. Stopped by Guyon yet again, but it's the power play. Austin Bernovic whiffs on the first one. The first one gets blocked by a shot. Second one comes to him, slams it home. Power play goal number 26. Capitals single season franchise record at that tally of 26. Gives Madison some life in this one, but they trail 3-1 as we enter the third and final period of regulation. Caps will travel right to left across your radio dial and hockey TV screen, and we'll start this third period with 1:50 of a penalty kill here. Green Bay back out there once again. Green Bay will travel left to right here in the period, and we'll start here in just a brief moment. Rellers, Long, Elias, Jamison for Madison, Poitras, Nemec, Beshin, D'Angelo, and Lutz for Green Bay. Puck is down and we are back underway here in Middleton. Period number 3, the Capitals try to clear things down as back the other way and starting from their own defensive zone are the Gamblers. Lutz through neutral ice, far side, interrupted by Rellers. Long on that far side wall, doesn't get it out of the zone. Green Bay will hold there for a moment. Long kicks it back. Jamison has some time and space. Will hold for a moment before sending all the way down where Guyon will hold for a brief moment. Guyon leaves there for D'Angelo. No defenseman on this first unit for Green Bay. 5 forwards as D'Angelo thought about dropping back to Poitras, but eventually he'll have to drop back to Lutz, who comes in with a whole bunch of speed. He got the scoring started earlier on in period number 1. Nemec got an assist on that goal as D'Angelo has it ramped up. The stick that time of Aiden Long, and the two bodies tie up in the corner. Puck comes to the near side, though, as Poitras takes over on possession. Down low to Nemec. Nemec trying to set things up offensively for the Gamblers with 51 on the power play. D'Angelo up top, far side, now Poitras. Shot stopped by Berzinch, kicked into the corner. Toby tries to clear. His second attempt will go all the way down. Capitals will get a whole bunch of new bodies out there, but Green Bay remains as now Poitras into the offensive zone. Poitras. A couple of changes for Green Bay. Romaine to Shagabe. 29 to go in the power play for the Gamblers. As Shagabe takes it into the corner. Beshin out front. Just kind of stiffed up with his right hand. Unable to fire that shot towards the goal. Went into the corner instead. The Capitals able to capitalize and send that one all the way down as the Gamblers rush up ice the other way. Shogabay into the offensive zone. Has Humphrey on the far side, but it won't matter as O'Donnell clears the length of the ice. The Capitals back at full strength just south of 2 minutes into period number 3. Green Bay now 0 for 2 on the power play. Up that far side into the offensive zone now come the Gamblers, but halted on their rush and back the other way come the Caps. Down in the corner, Brnovic puts some pressure on Romaine. Up the near side wall, Delaney tried to feed it to the middle for Kuzma. Eventually a puck does get that direction, but never gets to Kuzma directly, and Chagabay picks the pocket of Elias and sends it down into the corner. Elias starts back the other way for Madison. It actually created some space. It looked like Robert Taylor, the near side linesman, and waved it off. Rather than not the case, as the faceoff will come all the way back inside the defensive zone for Madison to the left of Berzinch in goal. Berzinch looks over to his left, the top unit out there for Madison. Fourth unit, or basically a hybrid fourth unit for Green Bay. Hughes with Dewar and Danilov. Top unit fully complete out there for Madison. Puck shoveled into the corner by Elias up the far side. Brnovic chips that one out of the zone and escapes the zone. His player all the way back inside the defensive zone will slow things down and lose possession. Delaney puts enough forecheck on him, but luckily for the Gamblers, one of their players was right there to recover. Player starts back up ice. 17-12 to go in the period as he'll just backhand that one down in the corner. Ramsey will play it up the near side wall. Hughes intercepts and the Capitals get it right back. Kuzma around the defenseman in Ludwig. Kuzma tried to feed it out front for Brnovic as it comes to the near side. Brandt winds, holds though, does not send that one towards the goal. Takes it behind the net, feeds it out front looking for Kuzma. Guyon sticks it into the corner. Ramsey goes and recovers. Up top, Brnovic sends one towards the goal, deflected up into the window. Kuzma on the far side gets possession for Madison. Kuzma tripped up, no call, but Brnovic gets possession of the puck. Kuzma towards the slot, puck rolls off the end of his stick, and now the Gamblers back the other way. Danilov, now Dewar, back to Danilov, trying to feed it to the far side, looking that time for Hughes. Madison back the other way. Brandt will try to send that one down in deep. His first attempt not successful. Second one able to get down in as Green Bay back the other way. All the way down, no icing as it's waved off by Dane Hopkins, the linesman on the near side. Mackey will go retrieve for Madison before shoveling it up that far side. The Capitals try to get it up on an edge and knuckle it out of the zone. Instead, it's Jamison on the near side to the far now. Behind the defense is Jack Brandt, forcing Guyon to go play up that far side wall. The linesman gets in the way of the puck. The Gamblers unable to clear. Nagel on the far side half wall, down into the corner looking for options. Takes it behind the goal, looking to feed it to the far side, a bit too far behind Jamison, who has to skate out towards neutral ice. The Capitals will send it back in deep as the Capitals will go for a wholesale change. 15:38 to go in the third. 3-1 our score as Lutz into the offensive zone, has it poked around a bit before coming to the near side. James Mackey on possession. Mackey up the near side wall. Shogabay will hold in at least for a moment for Green Bay before Johnson along the far side wall continues out towards neutral ice. Deflected along a bit. James Mackey near side. Poitras shoved up against the wall. Poitras will kick it around a bit before Brink sends him into the wall as well. D'Angelo up top. Baker holds the zone. D'Angelo turns it over. Capitals back the other way. Johnson ahead looking for Brink. Rollers has the stick taken out of his hand. No slash called, and Green Bay back the other way. Just had the stick absolutely taken out of his hand by the Gamblers player. And D'Angelo with the shot comes back off the end wall out front. And now on the far side, Humphrey holds on to possession. Humphrey turns it over to Long. Long starts back the other way. He's tripped up. No call will come from it. Thought Humphrey got a piece of him there, but instead Humphrey carries into the offensive zone. A nice job by the Gamblers. Forecheck here to get possession. Rather, it's the Capitals defense getting things back the other way. Humphrey, near side, turns around, feeds it back. Gamblers regroup and will dump that one down in deep where Berzinch will hold for the defense and ring it around the near side where Katzen takes over for Green Bay. Katzen had a great start to this season and has slowed up since. That's the story of a couple of Gambler players, but Katzen, 18 points in his first 23 games. 2 points in his last 9 entering play this weekend. That one goes in on goal. Guyon will hold for a whistle. 14:05 to go in the third. 3-1 our score in favor of the visitors here this evening. Face off on the far side as Delaney Brnovic and Kuzma hop over the wall. This first power play group out onto the ice. Jamison and Toby join them on the back end. Brnovic will be the centerman, at least in the face-off circle. Brnovic takes the draws on the power play for the power play unit that doesn't have a traditional centerman on it. Unable to win that one back, though, as Dewar puts that one towards the middle. It takes an odd bounce, pins balls around to his defenseman before Berzinch will play over to the far side to Toby. Toby starts up that far side wall. Brnovic does a nice job to play positioning, but gets it out eventually to the Capitals off of a deflection. It caroms all the way down deep inside the zone. Brnovic had played that wall nicely along the far side and up the near side. Jamison will try to hold for Madison. Kuzma with a shot towards the goal, plays off the end wall where Brnovic will hold for Madison. Down in the corner, ripped around to the near side to Kuzma. Kuzma on the half wall loses it. It catches up on an edge and keeps rolling. Capitals able to regroup and recover, though. And into the offensive zone now comes Green Bay. Kuzma strips him. Kuzma, shot from a sharp angle, comes to the near side where Ramsey will hold for Madison. Kuzma has it high in the zone, far side. Barlagi looking to feed it towards the slot, takes it down to the corner now as Kim and Katzen get tied up. Barlagi back beneath the goal line, looking for options. Throws on the brakes again before getting it to Delaney behind the goal. Delaney takes it to the far side, gets it to Kuzma. Kuzma rips his shot. It's blocked along the way by Dewar. Sent out towards neutral ice as Barlagi will start things back the other way. Slowed up, though, in the process, though, and now it's a 2-on-1 for Green Bay. Katzen has Hughes. Think about finding the trailer, and eventually he'll find a different one. And Peterson, a nice shot block there by Brandt, and the Capitals back the other way. Nice job with a bit of a slash poke check there by Green Bay. No call necessary on that one. And now it's the Capitals chasing after this side to try to get possession. Barlagi tripped up a player from Green Bay as well. Ramsey behind the net, turns that one over but gets it back after a couple of stick checks. Ramsey plays it up the near side wall. Nagel towards the middle. Intercepted by Beshin. Blake Beshin behind the defense with a shot. A nice glove save by Patrick Berzinch to hold on for a whistle. 12:13 to go, period number 3. 3-1 our score, and players tied up in that far side once again. I think only Ramsey is going to go is the signal at first, which will send Green Bay to power play number 3 here in this one. You see the great save from Berzinch. Russell and Ramsey get tied up afterwards. Faceoff will be in the offensive zone for Green Bay. Elias asking for an explanation from the referee tonight of Kevin McManus. Doesn't like the explanation, but nonetheless, the Caps are on the kill for the next 2 or less. Hopefully the full duration of that 2, unless Green Bay were to take a penalty of their own. You'll see the shot from Beshin, a nice save from Berzinch. It's a heck of a save. And the 2 got saved. Tied up afterwards did Ramsey and the player there. A shot from the far side, blocked along the way by Mackey. Beshin with another shot on goal. D'Angelo unable to hold his own, and the Capitals have numbers back the other way. Long trying to get it behind. A nice job by D'Angelo, and now the Gamblers back. Nemec far side for Poitras. Poitras up top for D'Angelo, and they'll settle things down before D'Angelo rips one towards the net, jumps over the goal, and finds its way to the half wall where the Capitals will try to tie a couple of players up. They'll clear it down the length of the ice, and in 30 seconds into this power play opportunity for Green Bay, the Capitals force them to start 200 feet back from their attacking end. D'Angelo picks up behind his goaltender, the Slovakian goaltender, Adam Gajan. Poitras to the near side to Lutz into the offensive zone. Lutz on the near side half wall, tried to force it up top. Does eventually go that way, and now Madison back the other way. O'Donnell behind the defense. Again, no defense out there for Green Bay as O'Donnell takes it behind the goal, and they'll just kill some time. A nice job by Ronan O'Donnell. I think he realized that he didn't really have a chance to play that one towards the goal, and now it's back the other way. A 3-on-2 for Green Bay. Nemec looking for options. High slot shot, that time kicked into the corner by the Capitals goaltender Patrick Berzinch. In the corner, Jamison up the near side wall. It takes an odd carom out towards neutral ice. 43 to go on the Green Bay power play. 10:53 to go here in the third. Katzen steps off the wall on the far side, comes through neutral ice. It'll carry in on the near. Katzen into the near side corner. Jamison takes over, but Katzen gets it back. Katzen with a shot out front, rings it off the bar. Carom to the near side where Shagabe plays into the corner for Russell. Russell down low, backhands that one out front. Jamison takes it into the corner. He'll tie it up for a moment before coming to the near side where Long able to take advantage of it. And the Capitals have numbers back the other way. Long plays it ahead. Rollers behind the defense. Raiders Rollers with a shot that goes wide. Capitals with the best chance on that power play. as Rayners Rollers gets tied up with Lev Katzen. Katzen will head to the bench, and the Capitals will head to the penalty kill once again after this penalty, or the Capitals are able to touch up, I should say. 10:03 remains in the third. Another penalty upcoming for Madison. I didn't see the Rollers minor. It was behind the plays. The Gamblers started back up ice the other way. They're waiting for Rollers to jump off the bench and head the other side, wondering where his stick is. We'll see it on that far side. Katzen and Rollers get tied up. Rollers kind of tosses his stick down. They're going to discuss on that far side if anything else should be coming from that. That didn't look too egregious to me. .10:03 remains. Here's that play once again. Slowed down. Rollers was just trying to grab his stick back, it looked like. The referee and the linesman chatting along that far side. The faceoff will be in the defensive end to the left of Patrice Berzinch when we do return to play. 3-1 our score. Green Bay in the lead at this point. Lutz Poitras scoring the first period for Green Bay. Danilov for Green Bay to make it 3-0 just 53 seconds into the third. 13:48 in the second period. Austin Bernovic able to make it 3-1. Are they tossing Rayners Rollers from this game? Rayners Rollers has been ejected from this game. 10:03 remains, and the Capitals are down a centerman. I'm not going to lie, I didn't see exactly the egregiousness from that angle. It could have been worse if they're closer to it. Kevin McManus explaining with Tom Gilbert. Tom Gilbert giving it back to him. Face-off in the offensive zone. Nobody went to serve for Madison. 5 minutes for Rollers, a major penalty kill. Nobody went to the penalty box for Madison. Do the Capitals need to have someone serve is my next question. 10:03 remains, 3-1 the score. Nobody in the penalty box on the other side. McManus didn't send a player, but say there wasn't a whistle for the next 5 minutes, the Capitals would have to play shorthanded until the next whistle because nobody's in the penalty box along that far side. D'Angelo has the face-off one back to him. Green Bay with an excellent chance to strike here. A major power play advantage hopped on top of right away by the goaltender, Berzinch, for a whistle. Face-off upcoming on the near side to the left of Berzinch in goal. Rayners Rollers ejected here this evening. Capitals down not only a player, but one of their best penalty killers on a major penalty kill here. Second line center out for the rest of the night. Face off on the near side. Already without Jack Henry are the Capitals. Jack Henry, a defenseman on this team, is this one sent all the way down. 4:47 remains of this penalty kill for Madison as D'Angelo steps out to the right of his goaltender and will start up ice now. He'll drop back through neutral ice. Now come Lutz, near side. Betchin sends it down to the corner. Mackey chases after it as it's tied up for a moment by Lutz. The Capitals able to start back the other way. O'Donnell puts some pressure on him, and now Mackey will jump up into the play offensively. Mackey tied up with the player. He'll retreat now as well as a couple of other Caps. They'll both go for a change. It was Lamb and Mackey up in the play offensively for Madison there. And back into the offensive zone. 4:12 to go on the power play for Green Bay. Nemec plays it down low to Beshin. Beshin in the far corner over far side now for Poitras. Up top now for D'Angelo. Back to Poitras on the far side half wall. Looking for options back up top for D'Angelo. Near side Lutz. Middle to Beshin. Beshin towards the net. Deflected wide by Toby. The Capitals try to clear, but it's held in by an odd bounce off of a stanchion. Ramsey tries to clear unsuccessfully. Poitras, far side to the middle now for Beshin. Beshin up top now D'Angelo. Far side, Poitras clears it himself. 3:40 to go on the kill for Madison. 8:40 to go. Period number 3. 3-1 our score. As through neutral ice now comes Poitras. Gets it to the near side now for Humphrey. Humphrey looking for options. Shogabay on the near side half wall, turns it over. Capitals back the other way. Max Nagel and Aiden Long up in the rush. Nagel trying to do it all himself. He'll realize he has some time to kill. Taken down with no call from the stripes here this evening, and back the other way come Green Bay. Shogabay through neutral ice, poked off of his stick. Just about 2 minutes into the penalty kill, Kuzma will carry into the offensive zone. Kuzma rips his shot right into the shin pads of a Gamblers player. And the puck sits there for a moment before Lev Katzen, who drew the penalty, will start up ice. 2:02 into this power play for Green Bay. Nothing really coming from it quite yet. They've had some extended zone time, but they'll start up ice up the near side now. Romaine drops back Russell. Far side, Katzen leaves there for a moment for Humphrey, who cuts to the middle. Near side to Romaine. Romaine has his pass deflected, but goes to Katzen nonetheless. Shogabay up top for Romaine. Far side for Katzen. Katzen with a shot towards goal. Rebound sits on the near side. Shogabay in the corner now looking for options. Shogabay up that far side for Katzen. Katzen down into the corner now. Plays it along Humphrey. Up top now for Romaine. Romaine looking for options with a chance in the high slot. Feeds it over to Katzen, who rips one towards the goal, blocked by Elias along the way. And Russell now in the corner gets possession. Chance out front for Humphrey. Kind of tied up there for a moment by the Capitals, and the Caps will be able to clear. 2 minutes even, so it's a normal power play for Green Bay the rest of the way. Of course, they can still score as many times as they want. Major power play, major penalty for slashing to Rangers Rellers. D'Angelo is his first unit back out there for the Gamblers. Poitras on the near side, caught up, would have been offside, sure enough. Lutz touches up for the whistle, screams at himself for a moment. 43 seconds remain here. 1:43 remain, as Austin Bernovic will make his way across to serve the remainder of the penalty for the Capitals. So it worked out right away. Jamison, Lamb, O'Donnell, and Mackey for the Caps. Face-off is won forward by Brendan Lamb, but he's tied up there for a moment by Poitras, allowing D'Angelo possession. Still the first unit back out there for Green Bay. 1:34 left on this power play as they'll carry into the offensive zone. Nemec up that far side wall to Lutz. Lutz to the corner now for Poitras. Poitras up top, trying to feed it that time to D'Angelo, and eventually he will. Near side, Lutz had his pass intended for him deflected, and the Capitals had a chance to clear. O'Donnell unsuccessful on it. Lamb was right there as well. To a side work in the corner. Mackey alongside another player, that time in Nemec. Two players working in the corner there for each side. Green Bay with 4 players right there. Madison with a player just outside. The Capitals killing some precious time off. Only 56 seconds remain of the major penalty. And now Jamison will backhand that one down the length of the ice. 50 seconds even as Guyon will play up to Poitras. 5:50 to go, period number 3. Madison trails by 2. 45 to go on the power play as Russell drops for Romaine, and they'll start up ice now with the Gamblers. Romaine through neutral ice, drops back for Russell, who gains a whole bunch of speed and carries into the offensive zone, tries to split the defense instead. Finn Brink will achieve possession for Madison, and they'll just check that one out of the zone. Long plays back to Barloggi. Realize he has some precious time and space and time to kill as the Capitals 19 seconds away from Austin Bernovic stepping out of the penalty box on the far side, serving that minor penalty for Rangers Rellers. Romaine through neutral. Near side half wall, looks for options. The Capitals try to clear. Russell in the corner with 5 to go here on the power play for Green Bay. The Capitals have successfully killed off the 5-minute major penalty assessed that time to him. As off the end wall now, and on the near side, the Capitals force a turnover. Into the offensive zone, now comes Bernovic. Bernovic on the far side with a shot that caroms wide. Kuzma's shot once again. Up top now, Toby. Near side to Kuzma. Kuzma far side looking for Delaney. Bernovic intercepts his own player's pass but gets possession back. Bernovic near side, Kuzma sets it down for a moment. Blocker saved by Guyon is poked out. All the way down as Elias will start up ice for Madison. Into the offensive zone, the Capitals trying to take advantage, and it comes out towards neutral where Elias on possession. Near side, Delaney. Far side now, Bernovic has it a little too far in front of him. Icing, but the goaltender Guyon went to go and play it. Would have been icing if it would have got there, but Guyon interrupted along the way. Hughes pokes it around the defenseman, Elias. It's the Capitals back now the other way. Elias will play it up that far side wall. Brnovic tried to just send it down in deep and go for a change, but he'll step off the wall now and backhand it in, eventually intercepted there by Danilov. A nice job by Elias to get possession back for Madison. Capitals have a forward group go for a change as Brandt now through neutral ice will carry into the offensive zone and eventually dump in on the near side once he achieves the blue line. To a side work in the corner. Brandt goes and lifts his stick, gets possession for Madison. Brandt up the near side wall, Nagel. Nagel back to Brandt in the corner. Brandt looking for options, sitting right behind the goaltender. Nagel on the near side looking for options. Up the near side wall to Jamison. Far side now Michaud. Near side Nagel had too much umph on that one, did Michaud. Nagel still able to settle it down. Jamison up top, far side Michaud. Shot, rebound, sits there. Sent into the corner by the Gamblers. 3:22 to go. Period number 3. Capitals trail 3-1. Wondering when they'll pull the goaltender. Near side, Nagel on possession. Looking for options here for Madison. Jamison up top. Shot deflected along the way. It'll be gloved down by Hughes, who will start back the other way for Green Bay. Down into the offensive zone. Jamison chases back after it. Plays it off the end wall to Michaud. Michaud evades the first forechecker in Nemec as the Capitals with under 3 to go have the stop sign or held up sign to Patrick Berzinch. Is on the far side. Russell tried to start up ice for Green Bay. They just backhand that one right to the stick of Charlie Michaud. 2:45 to go in the period. This one deflected down into the offensive zone. Galucci there for Green Bay. Finn Brink does a nice job to get possession, at least for a moment, for Madison before Russell starts up the near side wall. This one goes out of play. Change will be allowed, but an offensive zone draw to follow, I believe, for Madison. 2:33 to go in the third. You wonder if this is where the timeout's going to be taken. No media timeout's going to be allowed with under 5 to go. Face off on the near side. Timeout comes for Madison, I believe. No, they say they're going to continue play. 2:33, period number 3. Kuzma, Brandt, Brink, along Nagel, Ramsey, and Brnovic, and it's a hustle to it as the net vacant on the near side for Madison. It goes wide. Does Green Bay's first shot attempt towards the vacant goal. Ramsey will take it up the near side wall. They kick it up to themselves as Ramsey takes it to the far side now for Nagel. Nagel rips it around and rings around Guyon behind the goal. Tied up there for a moment were the Gamblers. A nice job to get possession back for Madison. Brink in the far side, up that far side wall for Brnovic. Up top for Ramsey. Ramsey near side for Kuzma. Kuzma back up top Ramsey. Has Brnovic far side but sends it near side for Kuzma instead on the half wall. Brandt back to Kuzma. Up top Ramsey. Far side Brnovic. Settles it down Ramsey up top. Near side Kuzma. Sends one towards the goal. Deflects wide into the corner. Kuzma to the middle now. Brandt down low. Brink trying to feed it that time to Kuzma. Slams at it a couple times. Puck finds its way into the back of the net. Or rather, it's loose still, they say. Brnovic rips one into the back of his shin pad. A shot goes wide again. The Capitals have the puck well loose of the play. Unable to slam one home. Nagel too far in front of him. Kuzma up top. The players have settled down. Nagel on the near side trying to get possession, and it goes out towards neutral. A minute 21. Capitals into the offensive zone. They say not offside. Down low, Brandt forcing his way in out front. Brady O'Malley sends it down. It'll negate icing as Lutz will beat him to it. A shot from Lutz could end it here for Green Bay, and he will. 1:03 remains, period number 3. 4-1 our score in favor of the Green Bay Gamblers. The Capitals had so good of an opportunity out front. The puck still loose, a whole pile of bodies in front of the net. Brnovic had it out front. And here's the goal from Lutz. That ended it here tonight. Still some time left. Need a miracle, though, down 3 with a minute to go.
Gamblers goal scored by number 29, Julian Lutz. Time to goal 18:57. Lutz at 18:57.
Lutz with his second of the night. Face-off one back by the Capitals. Elias will start up the middle of the ice. Capitals trail by 3. Need one quickly here if they want a chance at it. Elias behind the goal. Elias trying to force his way out front. O'Donnell in the far side corner tied up. Brender up that far side wall. It'll just be sent down but not out of the zone by the Gamblers. Lamb down in the corner now. Long up the near side to Lamb. Lamb looking for options, feeds it across, shot that time goes wide. 36 to go in the period. Up top for Mackey. Mackey sends one wide to the goal, going off of a shin pad of Luke Baker. Lamb ties him up. Capitals are back at home next Friday and Saturday night as the team faces off against the Youngstown Phantoms. Tickets are available. Tickets.madcapshockey.com. A $1 beer night on Friday night, followed by Be the Miracle night, a bobblehead night, Neil Broughton bobblehead night here at Cap Ice on Saturday night. It'll be a 3-3. The Capitals hit the road to Chicago on Sunday. Capitals, a nice effort here tonight and had a great couple of opportunities late in the game to bring themselves within one, but Green Bay holds them off. And the Capitals fall by a score of 4-1 here in this one. Capitals skid continues 6 games now. The Capitals looking for a bounce back in front of a sellout crowd expected on Friday night. Let's take a look at the highlights throughout the game here tonight before we send you home. Here in the first period, it's a Julian Lutz goal to give Green Bay the early 1-0 lead. Back at the other end, Aiden Long thought he had one. The referee pointed. They rule it dead. Poitras on the other side, able to get a 2-0 lead for Green Bay. They added another before that Bernovic tally, and then the empty netter for Julian Lutz, his second of the night, gives this squad and the Gamblers a 4-1 victory. That'll do it for our coverage here on FloHockey. For our friends at Rush Media, we appreciate you joining us here today. A great one for the Capitals. A couple of Chippewa Steel members meet up at center ice. Former teammates. The Capitals fall in this one. 6-game losing streak. Look to snap that at home on Friday night against Youngstown. That'll do it for our coverage here on FloHockey. Thanks for joining us next Friday right here, Cap Ice.